Welcome to Mac's Corner, and today we're going to play Hand of Fate, which is a nice little hidden gem inside of Steam. I think a lot of people, it's well known to some, but a lot of people are not aware of it. And I got to tell you, you're really missing out if you haven't heard of this game. It's a fairly casual game, but I wouldn't want to call it completely casual. And long story short, I'm going to play it on easy mode just because I want to show you the game
without consequence or concern. I have made my wager. I'll also make my deal. You have questions, and I will provide answers. After all, that is why you came here, is it not?
Alright, so I'm not going to do a lot of a tutorial on this one, even though I know for a lot of you it might be new. The main reason for that is a large portion of enjoying this game for the first time.
I'm sure you are grateful for
is learning it. And I can't really explain it, you just have to kind of discover that. So it's kind of one of those trial by error sort of games. Alright, in this, so i.e. we have 50% chance of succeeding, 50% chance of
a
failing.
choice. Select your desire.
We failed, which normally we'd have failed. One of those cards I drew in the beginning, though, was a blessing that lets me redraw one time. And if your eye is good, you can actually kind of watch the cards, and on occasion, figure out where they went. So it's a card game. It's procedurally generated, a field of poppies, so he's going to rearrange the cards. And these cards each represent certain quests, certain things, a level. And I don't want to explain it too much, because, as I said, part of the joy of this game is just figuring it out for yourself. And I don't want to take away that experience for anybody who decides to give it a go. So I just want to play through it, gives a little bit of commentary. For anybody who doesn't know about the game, give you kind of an idea of what it is. So that you can make an informed purchasing decision on if it's something you'd be interested in or not. As from my perspective, I highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun playing through this game. Alright, as you can see, it's not, there's actual combat. It's real time. It's fairly newbie-friendly at first. It gets a lot more complicated. It's got a pretty gentle learning curve, though it does kind of escalate there a bit after a while. Also, keep in mind, I am playing it on easy difficulty, so it's not that challenging for me. Not yet, anyways. But in this endless mode I'm playing, it gets harder the longer you go on as well. So if you really want to read the stuff, you can. I don't want to stick on it because reading some of the stuff for the first time is part of the game too. Learning what different things do is part of the game too. So I'm not intending for this to be a substantial Let's Play, as I said. I just really wanted to introduce the game for people who maybe weren't aware of it or kind of observed it but didn't know exactly what it was about. One of my goals, though, is anybody who's interested in my stuff, that I'm putting on the channel, I'm thinking if I like the game and you like watching the games that I like playing, you probably enjoy at least most of the games I recommend. It's sort of a thought. I wouldn't call myself a super picky gamer, but I certainly, and when I say that, I mean in terms of the variety. I play a huge variety of games. I don't have a specific genre that I stick with, which means I don't specialize either, so you're never going to see me be the best at anything. So if you're looking for an expert game player, as I've said before, I'm not it. But I have a large breadth of my interest, and I usually stick with the really good ones. On the rare occasion I failed to inform myself properly before buying a game, and I played it and realized I didn't like it. I don't stick with it. And I needed to not have gone there. I don't know why I did that. Too busy talking, as always. So if you look down here, you have health, food, gold. Gold, obviously, to buy stuff. Every movement costs 1 food. So when you run out of food, you start starving to death, which takes health. And different cards you get, different abilities will obviously, enhance or enable that. Where am I going? Oh, the poppy field. Alright, so I forgot about the poppy field that rearranged. Well, no, that happened. Anyways. So we do got to cross this river again. So that poppy field basically took all the cards and rearranged them. It didn't give new cards, it just rearranged the cards that were there. So this should be the exit right here, even though we'd already passed over it. Alright, I'll take a success. There we go. So we reached the mouth of the cave, and now we proceed to the next level. And exit the cave. Yes, please, sir. And the dealer's a lot of fun too. That's this guy right here. They never really specify if he's a good guy or a bad guy. You never really figure out his role. In the end, you kind of figure it out a little bit, but the best I'll say is it's not what you were expecting, or it's not going to be what you were expecting.
The deeper you go, the harder things become.
But he'll have. I mean, they really went all out on making the dealer have quite the personality, and you're really going to see that playing through the story mode. Endless mode, probably not so much.
Now, this is my kind of travel.
But I did not want to play through the story mode because that's really something you want to play with through yourself for the first time if you've never played the game before. Okay, the exit's where we came in. Is that what I'm reading? Okay. Well, typically, you don't want to do that though because you want to power up because it gets harder the deeper you go. So you want to kind of. All right, I have plenty of food, which is I happen to know that's what I give them, but I don't want to give away my only helmet, so. A noble trader. Alright. Well, I know what he does. I'll let you figure out for yourself. I'm sure 5 food. Why not? Alright, so she gave us a mace. Not really all that great to be
Are
perfectly
you
honest
sure
with you,
that's
but
the right approach?
I am not. But are you questioning me?
Between worlds. A thing
dare you
that cannot
question my
be,
forte.
yet is.
Sorry, I get silly sometimes. I know I sound serious a lot, but I have my moments. Alright, enter the portal. As you can see, it's gonna get harder. So I am probably gonna go through one more level, and just so you can kind of see what it is. As I said, my primary intention of this Let's Play was to inform people
How
who
unpleasant.
were not aware of the game or were not aware of how the game played and might be interested.
As long as you play and persist, we will continue to draw closer to a resolution.
And
Very few have come close to unraveling the game, mind you. And none have succeeded.
yes, he's a creepy dude though, but but in a good way, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll pay 10 gold for a song. Why not? All right, we got some health. All right. Another thing is if you exit,
The pendulum can swing
you can
both
exit,
ways.
come back, and you'll start off where you started. The key thing though is you can only be playing one game at a time. So you it's kind of there is permanent death in the game. Like once you lose, but you can start a new game if that makes sense. And the new game will reflect any new cards you've received. So it's one of those games that starts off, but as you progress through it, even if you have to start over, you start over with more things than you had the last time you played, which in my opinion is the correct way to do roguelikes. That's in my opinion. So we found a little shop. We can buy some items. Let's get, what is this? Ring of Engorging. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's kind of a tactical option. Not something I think I need. Maybe. Oh, now this one, I like this one, because if you get rich, you
What
can
will
really
you do with
some
that?
stuff. So we have 20 gold, so we do +1 damage, but if you get a lot of gold, you can... Oh, we need to sell some stuff too. Alright, so Fine Blade, we started with that, we started with this. Now, I said I started with some of this equipment because of, one, the level I selected being on easy, and 2, because of the progression I made through the game, I start with stuff that you're just not going to start with. Alright. I said, I'm not getting too deep into a tutorial or anything like that because, and I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but if I were to really go through the story and really get into a detailed tutorial, you'd really lose the magic of this game because a lot of the fun parts about this game is kind of figuring stuff out as you go, and I really don't want to ruin that experience for you. Let's redraw. Alright, hopefully if we're quick, we can... maybe this one? Nope, that one. It was one of those two. We got strong. Alright, well, we were spotted, so... I think if you win, you get rid of one of the cards or something. So each of those cards, I don't want to give too much away, but just to kind of give you how it works. So obviously the number on the card is the number of bad guys. The suit of the card is going to give you what type of bad guys, and I'll kind of let you, you guys can figure out which one's which. There are traps on levels, as you can see, but they're affected by traps just as much as we are, which is kind of fun. So right button does a shield smash, which pushes him back and stuns him. And then you can obviously hit him with the mouse. If I remember right, movement and the space bar makes you do a dive roll. I'll have to test that. I think that's what it does. Alright, so... Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I thought it was max health. Never mind. Still, we refilled our health. That's nice. Draw a piece of equipment. Oh, this is a really good one. Especially early on, this is a wonderful ring to get because you get stronger just by progressing, which is really cool. Oh, this is a tough one. Well, I'm going to do it just because this is actually a pretty tough one, and if I win it, great. If not, it makes for a good place to end the Let's Play anyways. Alright, you got to be careful because it's not necessarily going to be what you choose. So I always pick the strongest one. Because, let's see what happens. Alright, well, we're going to fight the strongest one, I guess, or 4, but then we didn't fight the other 2. And you never know, basically, you never know if they're going to make you fight what you picked, or fight a combination of what you didn't pick. That's kind of the challenge. Yeah, so spacebar dives you around. Especially when the game gets more challenging, you're going to be doing a lot of that. But it is fun. Boom! Boom! Yeah, he's the man. Wow! Wow! Oh, see, and there's just I don't make that slow motion happen. It just kind of does it on its own, and it's just a lot of fun. It's another one of those games. Just a good feeling to it. You know, it's not just observing it and watching it and winning. You feel just the impact of the game when it's doing stuff. And I don't know how. I know I'm a creator and an artist in my own way, but I don't know how to do that in a video game. And the developers who know how to do that always seem to create the games I really enjoy. All right. Which way to go? Which way to go? Boom! Smash you in the face. Okay. Oh, and another thing. That's not really spoiling anything. So that whoop, there's a trap. So you'll notice when you hit, there's a counter. The higher the counter, the more damage. So you don't necessarily do combos in the sense like the Street Fighter, where you've got to do these funny button mash stuff. It's just the more you hit, the more effective you get at hitting and doing damage, which then just makes you more effective. So you can really get into some strings where you're doing some pretty cool stuff. Plague and Dust. Yeah, we'll be okay. You guys have only seen the Ratmen and the bandits so far, and I'm not going to tell you the other stuff, but there are other enemies in the game, and each one has to be kind of fought specially. And obviously, while each suit represents a type of enemy, you know, there are face cards in the game, and all I'll say about that is they play an important part of the game, and they can be drawn just like anything else can, depending on how the deck's made up. What gets drawn is all dependent on the randomness of how the deck is made. Some of it's random, some of it's not. You just kind of have to figure it out. Well, not figure it out. So, the Shield Bash is a really good way to build up your combos. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it stuns them. And then you can get your combo up. That's kind of a nice way to do it. Well, he's got little slashes all over him. He's not looking too hot. All right, now because we did it's easy, and one, it's early on, so the Crucible's not as hard as it can be, and two, we're playing on easy. But yeah, usually when I die, it's usually late game or later game, and it's usually in the Crucible because it's just well, you'll see. Emergency ring.
Of course, one has to wonder how you got into that situation in the first place.
Yeah, they do, but not a bad thing to have. 1 gold gain. Let's go. We gotta get 40 gold. All right. So if you remember, we get +1 damage for every 20. I think up to 100, either 100 or 200. So right now we're on +5 damage just for being rich. You know, which is kind of neat. And I like watch the little spider. You know, it's just little minor things like that that really make the game. And I'm gonna stop it here, not because I don't think you'd want to watch more. I'm sure I would enjoy it if I wasn't going to buy the game, but I'm really hoping that you can watch this and just really realize it's a quality game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you haven't played it yet, by all means, I encourage you to go out there. I don't think it's even too pricey, to be honest, but if you really don't want to, put it on your wish list and wait for it to go on sale at some point. They just had one yesterday, and I didn't know that, or I'd have done this yesterday, so I apologize. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. More will be coming, and Mac out.